Hi, it's Jen, reading my book out loud for people who don't like to read. This chapter is called The Knitting Years. When I was 19, I had a boyfriend, Kevin Jones, whose dad used to say, "Only unintelligent people get bored, because there is always something new to learn about in the world." I think about that a lot when I'm sitting on my couch staring at my wall. I usually take a few moments to delve deep into my mental closet for a new experience I could have, or a great book to read, then eventually go back to staring at the wall. It's not a bad looking wall. Unless I am deep into writing or something new or performing on a show, after the sun goes down, I often feel at a loss for motivation and purpose. What do people do home alone at night? Left with just my own mind and a television I usually have no interest in watching, my mental health takes a slow nosedive descent. My mental health takes a slow nosedive descent right along with the sunset. When I was younger, I just always went out. But now I'm old. I got tired of drinking. I don't want to talk to guys in loud bars. I don't sing karaoke. I surprisingly never got into drugs. I don't have the funds nor hearty, abundant appetite to dine regularly at my local restaurants. As of late, I do find immense joy from listening to the catchy pop music of the weekend, but that doesn't require any physical or mental activity, which leaves me back at square one. My couch is getting way too comfortable, and it scares me. I even have a little tray placed on it as a home for my snacks. I'm not sure if I should blame the pandemic or AARP, but before 2020, you could never catch me at home after 8 p.m. Until recently, I had never even owned a couch to sit on. It was either my bed or the kitchen counter. Unless I count those 20-something years living in New York where all I owned was a futon. What an invention that was. With its prison-style dense mattress and a metal frame. It wasn't desirable as a couch or a bed. Maybe that is why I was always out. Lately, I've been trying to convince myself to join an adult kickball league or learn to make useful household items like a blanket or a candle. But what if I join the kickball league and there are no cute men? Or worse, there are too many cute men and I spend the whole time feeling self-conscious in my lack of ability in the sport I have no experience in, but joined solely for the human interaction. Am I in my knit class years? Am I too young to knit a blanket? It's like creating the item that will eventually smother me. When you are dying, nobody wraps you in a heavy comforter. It's always a light, family-friendly blanket with some personal value. That was dark. I'm stuck in a tug-of-war between my younger, immature, selfish mindset of chaos and rebellion and my ascending midlife crisis years of responsible, quiet craft making and an elated joy of indulging in homemade egg salad on Ritz crackers. I think the only pet I could take care of in a responsible way would be an unattended to guppy. Oh, fish. I got a few goldfish at different times during the pandemic, but eventually and unintentionally manslaughtered them all through the cleaning of the bowl process. I've been told if the new water is not the exact right temperature, their system goes into shock. A little tiny goldfishy heart attack. That bulging eye staring at me as it lays flopped sideways with its boneless little tail in a downward slope. Do goldfishies have hearts? Or are they like most of the men I have slept with? That's funny. I just tried to Google whether fishes have hearts, but right after Googling, remembered that the one and only time I have been on a legit, serious fishing trip and caught my first big tuna, the fishing guide cut it open and told me it was good luck to eat the heart of my first catch. I almost did it just because of how good looking he was. A decision-making process I have used way too often in my life, but eventually couldn't go through with it. I mean, he was cute, but not so much I'd risk choking on a mackerel's blood clot for him. I have, however, choked while brushing my teeth, but just as a psychological reflex. The plastic tool has never actually made it that deep into my throat. But what dopamine-seeking junkie during a late-night teeth cleaning hasn't been scrubbing their tongue, letting the toothbrush slip just far enough in that for 1 second the gag reflex kicks in and chokes you for half a lost breath? This article took a weird turn. Nothing serious, just enough time that it gives me that jolt of adrenaline that seems fewer and far between these days. In case you were unsure of how bored I am, now you know. Mr. Jones would be so disappointed. Maybe that is why Kevin dumped me. From what I remember, him and his dad were really close. Hope you had a wonderful 4th of July.